My name is Pablo. Welcome to TGIF. And now, with no further introduction, I give you the amazing, the only, the wonderful, the glamorous Shirini. Yeah, give her a big round of applause. She's coming, she's coming. Look. There she is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's so fun. I mean, it's good because, you know, as mates, we don't see each other
That's right.
that often. And of course, after a pandemic, it's good to see people. Finally people.
Civilization.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for coming. And for all of these members that might not know you or might not, you know, have the same shifts as you have, could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, everyone. I'm actually from Malaysia. My name is Shirini. So I'm gonna say, apa kabar? Selamat datang to our LanCul session.
Good.
Yeah, I've been in LanCul for almost a year plus, and it's been a very exciting journey altogether. Yeah.
Good. Why has it been like an amazing journey for you?
I mean, I get to, you know, when I was in Japan, I didn't have much friends, to be honest, and I wanted to talk to people in English. And it's so nice to see, you know, a lot of members, and it's great to have English conversations with all of you. So I actually have a good time meeting all of you. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
I think most of the members also enjoy talking with you. We've been talking for a few minutes before the session, and it has been like tea party between us. So now you said you're from Malaysia. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you grew up and where you grew up?
So I am from, actually I was born in north of Malaysia, which is about an hour close to Thailand actually. And it's the countryside. We are actually the rice state of the whole country. We produce like 80% of the rice in Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah. I lived in the countryside for at least about half my life before I moved over to the city. And it's been interesting because the life in the countryside was so laid back. And then moving to the city, everything is like super fast paced and everything's so different, you know, it's like, wow, kind of
thing. Like hectic time for everyone.
So it's like, you know, country bumpkin, turning city life, everything is so starry-eyed, everything is new and people are different. And after that, you know, I did, you know, apart from Malaysia, I also lived in the UK. I was studying in the UK for a while. And then after that, I did some time in Singapore. And now I'm in Japan. Wow,
so you've had quite a lot of movement in your life.
Truly, truly.
So when did you move to the UK?
I was doing my final year for my university, my bachelor's over in the UK. Yeah, I graduated in video games art. That is such a major. I don't do video games anymore, sadly, but yeah, it's been a very interesting time because living in Malaysia and moving to a new country, which is like 4 seasons, totally different culture.
That's true.
Yeah, 4 seasons. Malaysia is like tropical country, all the time rain and sun. Yeah.
Ooh, so it's also like tropical weather all year long.
All year long.
I think Meg would have a lovely time there. She's like, yes.
Yes, we have.
Take me to Malaysia. so for everyone at home, can you give us a thumbs up if you have visited Malaysia? How many of you have been to Malaysia? Okay, Meg has been there. Yasu has been there. Ken, Masa. Okay, Yuki. Ooh, many people.
Yay!
Many people going back to your...
Terima kasih.
So, this is maybe something that you can relate. I mean, when I went for the first time to another country, the culture shock and you know, the awness that you have, it's like jaw-dropping. So, how did you feel when you first landed in the UK and you started living there? What was the...
I think I was like, okay, because in Malaysia, every day it's technically sunny, okay? See, it's sunny, when you go to England, in UK, I was in the borough, and it was basically rainy all day most of the time. It's cloudy and rainy. And there was one time I was when I first moved in, I think it was 2 weeks in, and then suddenly I saw like a bunch of people just running towards the grass, and then they just sat down and just laid down there. I was thinking, why? Why are they lying down? So I asked one of my classmates, I said, why are they lying down? And they said, oh, it's because they're sunbathing right now. And this concept, for Malaysians, we get sun all the time. We cannot process this information. Like, why? I don't understand.
Like, why are you sunbathing? Sun is always there.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, in Malaysia, I was like, I'll be glad to get out of the sun. I really don't like the sun. But after 3 months there, I realized I became one of them after that. The moment I see sun, I was like so excited to see sun, I just run outside and joined them.
Right. And that happened to me because, I'm from Spain. Yeah. So we do not have tropical weather all the time, but sun is a big part of our, ecosystem. So I went to the UK to audition for a school, for a musical theater school. And I remember after the second or third day, I was like, yeah, the school is good, but there is no way I can live here. Where is the sun? It's like, I'm gonna be depressed all day long.
Oh gosh, yes.
So yeah, that's one of the things that it, kept me away from, moving to London. Not having good weather. No sun, no Pablo.
No.
So, moving on, you said you went to the UK to study video games.
That's right.
That is a very unique, career to pursue. At least it's not something you hear every day. Why video games?
I think when I was young, I was always interested in video games. My father actually introduced me to, when we had the first, Apple computer, and he introduced me to my first games, like Strider, X and everything. And then after that, Street Fighter. So I was always interested in video games, but I didn't consider it as a path that I wanted to take until I played my first Final Fantasy, which was Final Fantasy VIII. And I was, at that time I was, I think, 11, 12. I was very amazed by the graphics back then, and it looks so real, and I thought they are great. Yeah, at that time they were really great, because FF7 was just cuboids at the time, but then you move to 8 was really phenomenal to me, and I really at that time I said I want to be a part of the video game industry at that time.
So you wanted to create and design and kind of like produce these video games.
That's right.
Okay. Because, some people might be confused now between, what's the difference between, studying video games and some people being gamers now? It's a completely different career.
Well, gamers, you do play games, but creating video games is a whole different industry. There's a lot to go with it. It's also like, film, where it's just behind the scene, people creating something and producing something that people might love or come to love. And
I see.
Yeah, so I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of creating or designing your own, baby to show people.
Baby, exactly.
Okay, so as you said, you went, you were in Malaysia, you went to the UK, and then you went to Singapore, and then you landed in Japan.
That's right.
You had the whole globe, all the countries in the world to choose. Why did you choose Japan?
Japan. I've always had a fascination with Japan, but the opportunity, turned up when one of my family members actually got a job here.
Oh.
Yeah. And we decided, it's a new experience, it's new life, and we've always loved Japan, the culture, things that go around here. We love everything about this place. So we thought, okay, let's try to experience living in Japan, because traveling to a place and living in a place is really completely different experiences.
Yes. Yeah. Hiro is like, yes, I know.
Yeah, it's true. So that's why I thought, it'll be interesting to actually live in a country that I've actually had very deep admiration for the longest time.
Yeah, I think that for me was kind of the same. Was you have this fascination that it's closer to obsession. It's like, I'm obsessed with Japan. I need to live in Japan. And it's true, you wanna you want to give yourself the opportunity to go beyond the tourist.
That's right.
Like I'm here, I'm enjoying everything. Now I want to live. I wanna experience Japan as closer as a Japanese would have that experience. So, what surprised you the most about Japan?
Good question. Surprised me most. I think this is a very, very tough question. I can tell you what my culture shock of Japan was.
Okay.
The elevator. There's elevator rules. Where to stand in the elevator.
Okay.
I can never understand the position of where to stand. You know, in Malaysia, when you get the elevator, just stand anywhere you like, you know, and you know.
Spain as well.
But in Japan, there is an order, like where to stand. And you know, the first time I was working in a different place at the building, I didn't know which position should I stand. Should I stand here? Should I stand there? You know, which is the right way? So, elevator rules, really confusing for me.
Wow, I've never thought about this.
Yeah.
How many of you know that there are elevator rules? Can you give us a thumbs up?
It's like unspoken.
Unspoken rules of the elevator. How many of you know the rules? Can you give us like a thumbs up on the emoji?
Like where to stand.
Where to stand? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
People know they exist. Nobody knows how to use them. For me, it's close. One of the cultural shocks, it's related to elevators.
Oh, okay.
Because in Spain, all of the shops are on the first floor.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't expect shops, cafes, or clubs to be upstairs.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there and I saw people getting into the elevator, I was like, where are these people going? Like, oh, because the cafe is on the third floor. It's like, no, there's no, everything is first floor.
Oh, wow.
So it took me a while to find my friends. It's like, where are they? Where are they?
It's so different.
It's a different, yeah, it's a different world.
Different world completely.
Yeah, so you said you came to Japan and then, of course, you speak more than one language.
Yes.
So how many languages do you speak?
My main language, of course, the national language is Malay, but my main language at home with my family is English.
Okay.
So I've always grown up in English, especially with my father. My father only spoke English to us.
Okay.
After that, I speak a Chinese dialect called Hokkien.
Wow.
And then a little bit Mandarin, and as well as Japanese. That's why I'm here.
Wow. Polyglot. She speaks a lot of languages. Welcome to Google Siri.
No!
You can ask her any question. So before we continue with languages, I'm interested in knowing, especially for non-Asian, there's these kind of stereotype of, you know, Asia, everything is the same. They put Asia into like the same, you know, bubble. But what would you say is one of the main difference between, you know, Japanese culture and Malaysian culture? They're both Asian, but what is one thing that you would say, oh, this, we are very different?
For example, I think Malaysia, we like to, I think we use a lot of body language and gestures. Like for example, if like you want to go somewhere, you know, usually we won't point where it is. Like say for example, you say, you know, you ask me, oh, you know, where's the toilet? I'm not gonna point with my finger to you. I'm just gonna, it's there. We use the mouth as the gesture.
Ah. It's like your whole body becomes like a...
My whole body becomes actually the GPS or the direction, the compass for you. So yeah, and I think when we compare it to Japan, I think Asian, we almost have similar culture in a sense, but in Malaysia, the other thing is that we use many languages at the same time, and it's very normal. Like in Japan, I think most of the time when you communicate with someone, you communicate fully in one language. And I think I told a few members before that when I communicate at home with my family, I could be speaking to my mom in Malay, and she will reply me back in English or a different language, and we completely understand each other. It's normal. And in Malaysia, it's very normal to use like 5 languages mixed up together.
Wow.
To speak.
So you need to learn 5 languages
since
you are very, very little. That's very similar to Spain, because Spain has 4 national languages.
Oh, wow.
Of course, Spanish is the main language, and then depending on the prefecture, you have 3 more.
Oh my.
So I was raised trilingual, which means that at school I will be speaking 3 of them, and then at home I will speak Spanish, but sometimes because my parents will learn Catalan, because they moved to that prefecture, they will learn. There will be some, like, you know, some sentences or some words that will be mixed. So I can understand, like, yeah, I'm speaking in another language and I'm hearing another language. So it's like communication. Okay, so for everybody at home, why do you think it's important to learn another language?
I think learning another language is always very vital, especially if you want to get to know someone and get to know them better. Being able to speak in the same language helps you, bridge communications very deeper. Bridge personal connections actually deeper. My brain is really fuzzy right now.
No problem. It's late at night.
It's late at night, that's right. It's my sleeping time too. I'm just joking. I don't sleep very early. But I think learning another language is very, very important, especially when it comes to talking to someone and getting to know someone. Because if you go to another country, for example, and I think my experience is that when I went to Bulgaria and France and they speak French, I don't speak a single word of French. And I felt that was also a wasted moment, because there were many nice people and they were trying to explain to us like the history of the thing, and also, they were trying to ask questions about us, and then I felt very bad that I couldn't, speak to them in a very personal level, to understand where they're coming from, what they like, and I thought, that's kind of a wasted opportunity for me,
Yeah, it's because sometimes we just think like unidirectional. It's like, oh, there's no way, if I don't speak the language, I cannot communicate, I cannot understand what they're saying. But as you also mentioned, if you don't speak the language, you cannot show them your culture. There's no, you cannot be the host of your own culture, right?
That's right.
So it works both ways. If you can at least manage to basic communication, there's something going on.
That's right. There's a lot of things to learn from someone else. One of my favorite things I like about people is that everybody has a different story of themselves. And it's always, a lot of their stories are very inspiring. And I wish to hear from their mouths, what happened in their lives, what's their most exciting moments, their saddest moments, their happy moments, everything. And then, we can relate to them on a more personal level. So I think learning another language is always very important.
Yeah, it's a connection with people. So
that's right.
We stay connected.
Yes.
So talking about stories and talking about journeys, you already mentioned that you like video games.
That's right.
So we are gonna go into the video game world. So my first question for you would be, I know that it's very difficult to pick just one, but if you would have to pick one style of video games, what kind of video games would you like to play?
I've tried a lot of games, like strategy, FPS, and a lot of other games as well, racing games as well. But I think my favorite would always be role-playing games, because I love stories. I really, really love stories, and I love hearing stories, and I love reading stories a lot. And for me, role-playing game is just like another animated version of a storybook, except that I'm fully immersed in the story, and I'm also following the journey of the hero in his entire adventure. So I've always liked role-playing games. They are my bias, unfortunately. You can't take that away from me. You can give me other art games, but RPG, my favorite.
I see. So for everybody at home, can you type? What kind of games do you like to play? Do you like to play mobile phone, like cell phone games? Do you like to play computer games? Do you like to play... Tell us, what kind of video games do you like? Just type it on the chat and we will go and see which ones you posted. I think for me it's the same. I was very into role games, like tabletop games. Tabletop games, Hero Quest or Warhammer.
Oh man.
Or Vampire, or, you know, and then when I saw that that was available on a video game,
Oh wow.
I was kind of, hold on. It's like a movie of a story that I already like with characters I can control and design. And I have freedom to choose a little bit of how the story goes. Where do I have to sign? Please give it to me, give it to me. So, anyway, it's also a refuge. It's a good bubble, you know, to escape. And
That's right.
for a couple of hours, you're like, or a couple of hours.
Many hours.
For many hours.
Many hours.
Not a couple of hours,
Many hours.
You're there and it's your world.
That's right.
Okay.
It's like I mean, yeah, like you said earlier, video games are sort of a form of escapism. And there are a lot of things that, you know, we don't have in the real world that we can experience in video games. Flying, that's right.
Fireballs.
Casting magic.
Casting magic powers.
Woo.
Okay, so apparently nobody likes to play video games because nobody has put anything on the chat. Everybody's smiling, but nobody's typing.
So sad.
I like that. If you look at Meg's, she looks like an angel with like the Christmas
I really
crown.
like it. I like her Christmas background.
Christmas background is very, very jolly. So you've also said that one of your passions is journaling.
That's right.
Which I misunderstood, and I thought she said journalism. It's different. Journaling is writing a journal. So why journal, like journaling as a hobby?
I think this started quite, I actually do physical journaling now. I used to do digital journaling, but not anymore. I actually prefer journaling and in physical way, and as well to also at the same time try to connect with art again, because I do art journaling, so I draw how I feel and what's my, you know, feeling today. If I ate a good toast today, I would draw that toast and say, yeah, this is a
visualize.
Good toast. Visualize. I'm gonna come back to this toast one day, this shop again. And I think journaling for me has been a very transformative journey in a sense, because I was in a very bad place before when I was back in Malaysia, and you know, it's very stressful, and I got really upset. But journaling has been very reflective, very meditative, and I felt that every time when I wanted to vent, of course not writing like, oh god, this boy dumped me this today, this kind of thing. Which
is fine. If you want to write about a boy dumping you or a girl dumping you, you write it.
You write it down. Yeah. But I felt that journaling was like something's like reflecting what I did today, and you know, sometimes like what I could do better. Because for me, I always want to look at a new version of myself. I don't want to get hung up on the past too much. I would like to make sure that, okay, if I did something today that I thought I could be better next time, or I would do it, then I'll write it down, my experiences as well.
Just using the past as something to reflect, not to dwell.
So it's been a very calming and meditative journey, so I really enjoy journaling.
Yeah, sometimes when people ask me like, oh, I have a stressful time, or I have a decision, I don't know what to do, I always tell them like writing it down or having the physical version of your thoughts really helps to organize them, and really helps for you to say like, okay, not everything is bad, or these are things that I can improve. So I agree. I've never had a journal, never.
Time to start.
Time to start. How many of you have done like a journaling? How many of you write your own like in a notebook or you know, agenda? How many of you do journaling? Raise your thumbs up. We're gonna give you 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
2, 1. Nobody writes. Nobody writes. Everybody types.
It's the in thing now. Digital is the in thing right now.
That's for me something with books. I know I should do digital books to save the trees and save the planet, but I love physical books.
Tell me about it.
It's like I love smelling books.
Me too.
Whenever I go to the library, I don't read. I just like smell. I go smelling.
My favorite is a bookstore. I love the smell of new books.
Yeah.
So I can spend like time there. If I go shopping for clothes, maybe half an hour is okay.
But books?
5 hours, no problem.
Let's go, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and go on.
That's right.
Okay, so now we're coming almost to the end. So now it's your time to ask Shirin. Any questions you want to ask her, just remember to be respectful. She's here to have a good time and to, you know, share good moments with you. So try not to ask any intimate or personal question. We're not going to give you her QR code or her phone number. So type it on the chat and ask whatever question you want to know about her or, you know, about video games, about hobbies. Let us know on the chat. And Hero, I want you to type. And Meg, I want you to type. Any question is fine, but I want you to type.
We also accept questions on Malaysian.
Yeah, Malaysian. If somebody knows how to do it in Malaysian, that will be amazing. How do you say nice to meet you in Malaysian?
Nice to meet you.
Or the equivalent?
The equivalent? We don't really say nice to meet you.
So when you introduce yourself, what do you say?
You say, hi, saya. Saya means me. So,
Saya Pablo?
That's right.
Ooh.
Saya Pablo. Oh, nama saya Pablo.
Nama
saya Pablo.
Nama saya Pablo. Nama is name?
Nama. That's right. Sounds like nama. Nama saya Pablo.
Nombre. Is in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Oh, everything is connected. Language.
The magic of language.
Ken, any information about good Malaysian restaurants in Tokyo? I missed
Bak Kut Teh. I miss Bak Kut Teh too. I am looking for a good Bak Kut Teh restaurant actually, to be honest. I haven't found any Bak Kut Teh yet. But I've been telling members there is this one particular Malaysian restaurant that I'm very fond of, which is close to, where is it? Kudansta. It's called Masak Masak. I've been there before. They actually have
Masak Masak?
Masak Masak.
Let's type it on the chat for everyone.
M-A-S-A-K.
Masak.
M-A-S-A-K double.
Masak Masak?
Masak Masak. That's right.
Okay, that's the name of the place.
Masak Masak. And they have, recently I heard that they are having winter solstice, something that's very close to my culture. I'm Malaysian Chinese, and winter solstice as a dessert, we have something called Tong Yun. Tong Yun, or Tang, we call it Yi. In Hokkien it's Yi. So it's very nice dessert. They have many flavors, so if you ever go down to Kudansta, it's there. There's a restaurant there called Masak Masak. You can Google it as well.
Ooh, so if you're ready for some nice seasonal desserts, go there, don't miss it.
It's ready.
What is it made of?
What is it made of? It's close to mochi actually. It's glutinous rice flour, but the inside, there's a different filling in there as well. So sometimes it's peanut, sometimes it is also, sometimes it's there's just nothing. It's just glutinous rice flour, but it's usually made with, because for me, Tong Yun or Yi is actually a family kind of thing. So with my mom or my grandmother, we would sit around the table and we would knead Tong Yun together. And usually they're mostly with usually natural coloring. So screw pine leaves, or let's say if we use like something red, then we would use something like with some fruit that produces red as well. Like
cherry or strawberry.
Strawberry, yeah, just roll it in and then you just boil it in. So the soup can be very sweet, or it can be also a bit, I wouldn't say spicy, like hot, but it's like ginger kind of soup.
Ah, I see.
Ginger soup.
Like a strong flavor.
Yeah, so, you know, to commemorate winter. So it's something that...
Well, now you know. Go and check it out and then you can tell us all about it. So thank you very much for today. I had a wonderful time knowing more about you. And now I have a new partner for video games. So, oh, someone Google it. Thank you for the information.
It's a Bak Kut Teh restaurant in Singapore. Okay, Singapore is next door.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be difficult to go to Singapore now, but soon we can go. Yes, thank you very much for the recommendation. So thank you everyone for coming, and thank you so much for being here and for answering all the comments. Please give a lot of love and a big round of applause to Shirin for being here. And for all of you, you know, every Friday at 9 p.m. you can find us here on TGIF, sorry. And thank you very much for joining. I am very happy to see you all. Have a nice weekend and see you soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.